This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Well, the rapid transit red line could change the way you get around Indianapolis. Good evening, I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. The new route debuts on Sunday, but it's already facing some setbacks.
RTV6's Cameron Riddle is working for you, explaining how 2 crashes involving red line buses can serve as a lesson for drivers.
Indigo's new red line buses are just about ready to roll. And now that construction is out of the way, it seems that the only thing that's blocking the buses are the cars. After years of planning and months of anticipation, Indy's new red line buses are hitting the road. And during practice runs, other drivers are hitting them. Just today, one of the new electric buses was damaged by a distracted driver on Capitol Avenue. Indigo says the mistake a driver made today is your reminder for the changes coming on Sunday.
Just like any time you're behind the wheel, it's really critical that people are paying attention, looking both ways, staying very alert.
In less than 48 hours, the 13-mile rapid transit line will start carrying passengers between 66th Street and Broad Ripple through downtown and ending on the south side at the University of Indianapolis. Along the red painted path will be new traffic patterns, signals, and even bus stops where they weren't before. Starting Sunday, missing a new sign or turning the wrong way could end in a collision like this one that happened on Monday.
Distracted driving is a really serious problem, and with new traffic patterns all over the city, it's really important that everybody keeps their eyes on the road and pays attention and watches for new configurations and new travel patterns for the buses.
The new electric buses cost $1 million a piece, and damaging them may come with a bill the size of a bus.
This is critical that everybody just bands together and recognize that these changes are here and they're live, and safety is our top priority at Indigo.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, 2 buses are now out of commission because of those crashes. That will not impact service on Sunday. For more guidance on how to navigate the red line, go to the RTV6 app or our website, theindychannel.com, to watch our Working for You special, Inside the Red Line.
The superintendent of Indianapolis Public Schools says the district will come together in the coming weeks in the aftermath of this violent incident.
For what? Let's go. Protecting my child.
You better chill out, bro. Chill out.
Cell phone video shows an IMPD officer hitting a student outside Shortridge High School yesterday afternoon. According to records obtained by RTV6, the officer says he used a technique called an open palm strike because he feared the student was going to hit him. That officer is on administrative leave and the department is investigating. IPS Superintendent Alicia Johnson released a message on social media saying, quote, "As a black woman and a mother of black children, it is not possible to watch the video of the incident that occurred yesterday at Shortridge without immediately thinking about the other incidents in our country that occur between white police officers and black people, especially males. Often I am left feeling a number of emotions, devastation, often chief among them." And she goes on to say that the IPS community will come together in different ways to support the school-wide culture. You can read the full statement, more from police documents and from a witness by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
At 11:04, let's give you a live look at downtown Indianapolis from our tower camera. IU will take on Ball State at Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow at noon. It's one of many events happening around central Indiana. Kevin is working for you, helping you get your Labor Day weekend started. Kevin.
And it's 71 right now. It's comfortable. It's dry in central Indiana, and it's not too humid. Humidity will climb a little bit over the weekend. Dry in central Indiana. You can see the showers and thunderstorms to the west. I think overnight, south of Interstate 70, 20% chance we'll see some rain and an isolated thunderstorm overnight. 72 in Bloomington, 71 in Indy. Much cooler to the north. 64 in Peru. As far as our forecast model, shows a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight through 7 a.m. in the southern portion of the state, or southern half. There are your temperatures tomorrow. 73 by noon. I'll finish the afternoon forecast for you. We'll zero in on our best opportunity for any showers or thunderstorms through the Labor Day weekend. That comes later in the day on Sunday.
More interstate improvements are coming, but that means more interstate construction. A 60-mile stretch of I-70 East will get patched up starting 1 week from today. The Indiana Department of Transportation says work will be done in both directions between Mount Comfort Road in Hancock County and the Ohio state line. Crews will patch the highway in 10-mile increments. INDOT says one lane will stay open in each direction in the construction zones. The project is scheduled to wrap up by the end of November.
A project meant to improve your drive through Hamilton County is set to start in October. The plan will address complaints drivers in Fishers and Noblesville have been making for years. Long waits at traffic lights that intersect with State Road 37 roundabouts will be constructed above 37 at 126th, 131st, and 141st Streets. Project leaders say getting rid of the traffic signals will help reduce the stop and go flow and cut down on the commute time for drivers.
Is just bringing back reliability to the corridor and allowing that connectivity between the west side of 37 and the east side of 37.
146th Street will be called what's a single point urban interchange, similar to I-465 and Allisonville Road. Construction is expected to go through the year 2023. Well, this is a beautiful sight for some drivers. Cars going over the Central Avenue Bridge. It's been about 2.5 years since this happened. The bridge reopened today after closing in January of 2017. The historic bridge was built in 1901. The Department of Public Works says that slowed down construction because crews needed special materials for repairs.
A home on the south side of Indianapolis is riddled with bullet holes, and the homeowner fears he is the victim of a hate crime. He asked us not to show his face. The homeowner says someone shot up his home early Thursday morning and believes the attack is racially or religiously motivated. And he says it is not the first time.
As I cut my grass over the course of time, I'm addressed with the N-word. People yell the N-word and they throw objects from their car at me. Someone is out to hurt or injure or kill myself or a family member. There's very little doubt in my mind on that.
Working for you, RTV6 looked into whether this could be a hate crime based on a new state law. But in order for that to happen, someone would have to be convicted of a crime because the law only covers sentencing.
What sparked this massive fire in Tippecanoe County? Well, that question may never be answered. An investigation by the Wabash Township Fire Department and the Indiana State Fire Marshal's Office lists the cause as undetermined. 5 departments battled the fire in a neighborhood near West Lafayette on July 12th. Several homes were damaged or destroyed. We can tell you no one was hurt, fortunately. A grocery store on the west side of Indianapolis is completely open for business after health code violations. Last week, the health department suspended the food license of the Safeway on Kessler Boulevard near 30th Street after finding rodent droppings and urine in the store. The deli area passed reinspection today. The general sales floor and the meat department passed reinspection earlier this week.
So she could have been killed, and they staged it to look like an accident.
This is not a game of whodunit. Coming up, how solving mock murders is helping Central Indiana students go from classroom to career.
And it may take weeks, it may take months, but RTV6 will continue working for you until we get results.
Drivers in Carmel are concerned about a lack of visibility at several of the roundabouts throughout the city.
The tall grass there, especially in a subcompact vehicle, completely obstructs whether I can see a car or not.
Carmel spokesman says if you drive up to the roundabout with the nose of your vehicle at the yield line, there should not be any line of sight issues. If there are, the city will work to correct them.
After our story, street department crews went out to inspect the area, and now the plans have been cut much lower. A city spokesman says it will help with the sight line for drivers, especially when it comes to seeing pedestrians.
Drivers say they are concerned about how long they are having to wait for a traffic light to be installed at what they call a dangerous intersection where 2 state roads intersect in Fortville.
It's just a very unsafe intersection.
Earl Bolander lives right on the corner of State Road 13 and State Road 67 in Fortville. These are photos he's taken of the scary moments following crashes at the intersection. The concern from drivers deals with lack of visibility, turning from State Road 13 onto State Road 67.
Well, tonight we have learned from INDOT that crews are now working to install a new traffic signal. INDOT says they completed a traffic study looking at the number of crashes and the increase in traffic due to Fortville growing, and they determined the intersection was high risk and a good candidate for a light. Work is expected to take 2 to 3 weeks.
This This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back now to Hiring Hoosiers, RTV6 commitment to connecting you to jobs, training, education, and more.
Well, sometimes career paths include detours, like getting fired. So how do you respond?
Tonight, our career coach talks about handling a termination and finding a new job.
You'll want to choose the timing of revealing when you were fired. Where you will probably have to mention it in the paperwork is in your job application, but you can simply say the job ended, you were laid off, or you were terminated without expounding. The goal is for you to get into an interview. You'll have a much better chance explaining what happened in person rather than on paper. That first interview after being fired can be really intimidating. You don't have to beat yourself up or doubt that you'll get the job. Just remember that everyone makes mistakes and has negative experiences.
Our coach also says don't play the blame game, don't insult your past employer, and leave out emotion if you can.
Hiring Hoosiers continues to profile programs that help high school students in Central Indiana go from classroom to career. At the Central 9 Career Center in Greenwood, students are learning about forensics and other skills to become crime scene investigators. They inspect a mock crime scene, looking at details like blood spatter, hair, and drug analysis.
Also, see what I'm saying? They're all the same. So that's a bit weird.
But is there supposed to be a dent in this lamp?
We solve a case. It's an Anna Garcia case where we have lots of evidence that we give the students, and they have to look and analyze all that evidence. And at the end of the semester, they have to be able to solve and know how she died.
Students also learn about autopsies, drug analysis, and the human body. Central 9 students come from 9 different schools across Johnson and Marion counties. Mark your calendar or set an alert on your phone. The U.S. Postal Service is holding a job fair next week. It goes from 9 to 2 on Saturday, September 7th at the Greater Indiana District Conference Center on Guyan Road on the northwest side of Indy. Full-time and seasonal positions are available.
Hurricane Dorian is now an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm. The Indiana Red Cross is preparing to send more crews to Florida as the hurricane heads towards the U.S. mainland. 2 volunteers from Indiana are already in place in Florida. Hundreds are trained to respond. Red Cross volunteers contribute in many ways, from assessing damage to running shelters to feeding people who have evacuated their homes.
As people begin their path to recovery, it begins the first hours after landfall. We start with sheltering, usually pre-landfall, and then after that storm, we figure out what they need, and we're going to go assess what their needs and try and meet them.
If you are interested in volunteering or donating, go to redcross.org.
Kevin's here now with a look at where Dorian is going. It looks like all of Florida will be impacted by this.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a long time because I think next Wednesday you're still talking about a hurricane near Jacksonville, Florida. So let's just give you the timeline here. It is Category 4 hurricane right now. May weaken just a little bit and then come back as a 4 and be north of Nassau, Bahamas. That's Monday at 8 o'clock. So Labor Day, 8 p.m. And then you can see how it's turning now, kind of running right along the coast. So that means from southern Florida all the way up, you would getting onshore flow around Melbourne. That's Titusville area, Cocoa Beach, Kennedy Space Center, and then up toward Jacksonville and southeast Georgia, still a hurricane, and that's on Wednesday. For us this evening, a beautiful Friday night. Let's show you the last night of fireworks at Victory Field. You know, after every home game on Friday nights, they would have a extra little special fireworks show for you, and a great night for baseball and great weekend ahead for most of us. We'll talk about some of the changes that come our way. As far as our high temperature during the day tomorrow, 81, that's familiar. The chance for a thunderstorm, just 20%. As we get to Sunday, warmer and a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, especially afternoon and evening in central Indiana. Labor Day itself, dry and 85 degrees. Not the warmest temperature within my 7-day planner. The rain chances, as we talked about, minimal tomorrow, higher as we get to Sunday. The thunderstorms that we expect late Tuesday, more likely Tuesday night, will be part of a temperature transition back to much cooler weather. Tuesday, our temperature will peak close to 90. As you can see, a dramatic change into Wednesday, and then by Thursday, high temperature just mid-70s and overnight lows comfortably in the middle 50s. Temperature right now ranges from 64 in Peru to 74 in Bedford, 68 in Richmond. Temperature in Indianapolis at 71. We're dry. Again, a couple of isolated showers or thunderstorms possible overnight. During the day tomorrow, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there's another isolated area of showers and thunderstorms that bubbles up. And we get to the evening hours too, we'll still have these isolated thunderstorms. Average high 83, will be in the ballpark, lower 80s. Sunday, the thunderstorm chances will begin to increase in the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures won't increase too much until we get to Monday and Tuesday, but still closer to the middle 80s. There are your thunderstorm chances first thing in the morning, northern half of the state. Then in the afternoon and evening, I think much of central Indiana, better coverage of the showers and thunderstorms. 7-day planner, plan on temperatures peaking Tuesday at 88. Thunderstorms late Tuesday lead to the cooler, drier weather Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with temperatures all in the 70s for highs.
Thank you, Kevin. And Racing and Riley, they're both beloved here in central Indiana, and they came together today. Don Schumacher Racing hosted its annual open house in Brownsburg to benefit Riley Children's Foundation. Thousands of fans met drivers and took behind-the-scenes tour of the DSR racing facility, including many Riley kids.
I just want to thank DSR and all the people affiliated with this for putting on this amazing event. It's a great experience, and we're having fun out here.
Out at the track, the fans come up and to the ropes and get autographs, and I was shocked by how many are a former Riley kid, or their son or daughter's a Riley kid, niece, nephew. It just shows you how big of an impact they make on a community, and if you can give back a little bit and do your part, it makes it awful rewarding.
Don Schumacher Racing has raised more than $640,000 for Riley since 2006. Today's event comes ahead of the NHRA U.S. Nationals, a big event going on.
They are on track already. It started qualifying tonight out in Brownsburg, Saturday and Sunday as well. The finals on Monday. Tommy Johnson Jr. is driving a Riley car this weekend.
Look at that.
Cool stuff out there. So good luck to everybody out there at Lucas Oil Raceway. Football is here. We're ready. Week number 2. We've got some great games around the area. And this guy's still running like crazy for New Pal. Are they the best team in the state? They look like a good one tonight. We got some highlights coming up.
And it's on to the West Coast for the IndyCar season. Laguna in a couple of weeks. Portland this weekend. And keep an eye on Santino Ferrucci, perhaps the hottest driver in the IndyCar series right now. I'm Dave First. That story coming up here on RTV6.
Hey, who's your lottery? Imagine that.
From RTV6, this is Friday Football Frenzy.
And week 2, here we go. Great games around the area to close out August. The Center Grove Trojans, ton of energy for their home opener tonight as we get started on another Friday night right here on RTV6. And a good evening, everyone. I am Brad Brown. Dave First is on the road. He'll join us here in just a couple of minutes. The Showcase Game of the Week featured 2 of the area's most successful programs over the past 6 seasons. Center Grove has 6 sectional and 5 regional titles in that stretch. But what about New Palestine? The Dragons' last regular season loss, that was back in 2012. They won this matchup a year ago. Charlie Spiegel, 32, New Pal's stud senior running back, got a chance to get loose a couple of times on the run in the first half. Look at the spin move after contact, dives ahead, picks up the first down. Spiegel would also score the first touchdown of the night at the end of this drive, plunges in from a couple yards out as New Pal took a 7-3 lead in the second quarter. The yards would continue piling up. Spiegel over the line, over another defender. 218 yards tonight with 12 more next week. He will have the state career rushing record. He scored twice more as well. Big story was the New Pal defense. Richard Clevenger chases down the QB for the sack. They kept Center Grove out of the end zone. Only 3 field goals, 28-9, a 56th straight regular season win for the Dragons, and another very impressive performance. Let's go to Decatur Central. It was Hawaiian night for the Hawk Block. We saw a lot of flowered shirts around the area tonight. Westfield came down to the southwest side, and they dominated. Eli Patchett, the pick, the return, takes it inside the 10-yard line. He would get rewarded a couple plays later with the handoff, and it would go this way for the touchdown. Westfield on the board with a 7-0 lead for that one. They would get another on their next possession. Camden Simons has some time. Micah Hauser wide open in the end zone. Put over 36-14 win for the Shamrocks as they are off to a 2-0 start this season. We see a ton of great rivalry games over the course of the season. Few match up quite like the one in Columbus, where it's East versus North every year. The Intercity Showdown, always a must-see affair down there. East, the home team for this one tonight, but North scored they scored 35 points. In the first half, Blake Huffman on the run. Here's the last of those first half touchdowns. The Bulldogs were up by 16. The Olympians trying to stay in it. Look at this at the end of the third. Cole Gilly to Dalton back. Great jumping catch at the pylon. Got East within 10, but the Dogs able to put the game away a little later, and it's Huffman again. He scored 5 TDs on the game, 42-31. Bulldogs with their 4th straight win in the series. Another stop on the west side. Speedway hosting Cecina. Check your playbook. Some defense for the Spark Plugs. This might be the play of the night. We sent this one to ESPN. Hopefully they're paying attention. Noah White is the defender, but watch the hands. Juggle, juggle, juggle. Hang on, my man. Bringing it in for the interception. Great job there, but Cecina had it off and running otherwise tonight. Senior back Tyshawn Woods. 5 yards on this score, in for that one. And then we'll show you the start of a 79-yarder. We might make it to the finish. We'll see. Crusaders roll to a 42-7 win. One more. Andrew Willett on the scene for us at Monrovia. Bulldogs scoring here. Dalen Clements, the Toddy Kamek, evens it up at 7-7. But Edgewood gets the late winner, 14-7. The final scores are all online at theindychannel.com and your RTV6 app. 2 to go in the IndyCar season. This weekend they're in Portland. Our Dave First is on the road for that one.
This wraps up 3 straight weeks of 3 straight weekends of racing for IndyCar. Back in the Northwest, back in Portland International Raceway, and really there's no one that has more momentum, perhaps, than rookie Santino Ferrucci. The 21-year-old from Connecticut finished 4th just last Saturday night, led 97 laps at Gateway. All told this season has led 118 laps. Aside from Robert Wickens last year, 187 laps he led then. You got to go all the way back to Sebastian Bourdais, 2003, the last time a rookie has had this type of impact. And the Rookie of the Year is heating up as well. Santino with just a 2-point advantage on Felix Rosenquist. Santino is coming to his own here in 2019. You're getting a lot of tension right now. What's that like for you?
It's nice, you know. I can't say I don't enjoy it, and it's also cool for the team as a whole because, you know, we're all getting looked at, and, you know, I really push everybody to just do that much better.
There's only 2 races left now. You probably wish there was another 6 or so, right?
Kind of wish there was another 4 ovals for anything else, but no, I mean, everything's been just going so well, and I can't complain.
Can you tell he has a certain confidence right now when he hops in a car?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but he's got a certain skill. You know, he's got confidence here, but, you know, a road course is different than an oval.
Sure.
An oval is almost like a state of mind, I think, to drive. Here it's a little tougher here, and he's doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's going to the front, and the end of torpedoes.
Head west, young man, and Santino Ferrucci is doing just that. Here in the Northwest this weekend, and then the season finale in just a couple weeks at Laguna Seca. In Portland, Day First, RTV6 Sports.
Another rookie had the fastest lap in practice today. That is Colton Herta. They will qualify on Saturday. That race in Portland is on Sunday. We'll take one more break. Back to wrap up the news at 11 next.
Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Can't rule it out, but it's unlikely that we'll have a shower or thunderstorm overnight. Chance just 20%. Same for tomorrow afternoon. A little better chance for thunderstorms later in the day. Sunday, Monday, Labor Day dry and 85.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
It, yeah. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. Starts now for us.
That's right. Have a good night, everybody, and a good weekend.